Hello! It's so good to see you again. Boy, I've been noticing lately that it's been getting a lot warmer as I've been recording this video, and it's really made me want to drink a lot more water. Did you know it's so important to drink lots of water, especially when you feel thirsty, but even before you feel thirsty, drink water, especially when it's hot. So as I was thinking about all this water, I was thinking, I actually know a lot of songs that have to do with water. So I thought it'd be fun to share some of those today. And to start off, I thought it'd be nice to use a little imaginary water to wash our hands. And today, let's use the song, an old favorite, Baby Beluga. All right, here we go. So let's turn on that water. Shh. Turn it off to save the water. And add our soap. All right, here we go. Baby beluga in the deep blue sea, swim so wild and you swim so free. Heaven above and sea below, and a little white whale on the go. Baby beluga, oh baby beluga, is the water warm? Is your mama home with you? So happy. And that's all we need of it. There you go. Let's rinse off that soap. I love that song. It was one of my favorites when I was growing up. All right, all that soap is gone, and now dry our hands. Well, I was just thinking, where does baby beluga live? Sure, in the water or the ocean, right? And of course, what do we wash our hands with? Soap, sure, and water. Did you know that water is one of the most essential substances needed for life? It's true. Water is so crucial. In fact, our bodies are mostly made of water. More than anything else, that's what our bodies are made out of. Some scientists feel that it's about 70% water. Of course, that depends on what time of life you're in. Like when you're a baby, you might be made of more water, and then you get older and you're made of less water. But anyway, it's around 70% water, our bodies. But did you know that, interestingly enough, our Earth is also made up of about 70% water? Wow. Let me show you. Whoa. This is a globe that we have at our home. And here we go. Oh, there's North America. South America, as you can see. But oh, there's Africa. There we go. But as you can see, this globe, our Earth, is mostly made up of water too. Look at all that blue. Wow. Pretty amazing when you think about it that way, isn't it? So much water. I'm gonna put this back. Well, for our first song today, I thought I would share one that's called the Canoe Song. And this is a song that takes place on either a lake or a river. And this is a traditional Canadian folk song. Actually, I did a lot of research to try and figure out where this song came from, and there are lots of different opinions on where it originated, but nobody could really agree. Some people think that it might have been a voyageur song, which is a group of French-Canadian fur traders and people that traveled over the land, and maybe it was a song made by the people of the Ojibwe tribe, or maybe it was just a Canadian folk song written and passed down over the years to teach children about what it might have been like a long time ago to live on the land and to travel over the water in canoes in these older ways. So anyway, that's what this song is about. This is what it sounds like. My paddles keen and bright, flashing with silver, follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Dip, dip, and swing and back, flashing with silver, follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Ooh, I love the rhythm of this song. And in fact, this song is often used by people who are even now traveling by canoe to coordinate their paddle strokes. If you can imagine traveling in a canoe, which is kind of like a long boat, right? Sometimes only 2 people ride in a canoe. Sometimes there are very long canoes that can fit many people. But they all have to use paddles in order to make the canoes go. So if you can imagine the paddle being long and you're putting it in the water and you want to do it at the same time as your partner. So it helps to have a song you can sing together to get that rhythm. So you're moving in an elegant and an efficient way. So if you were singing this song and paddling, it could be like this. My paddles keen and bright, flashing with silver, follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Fun, huh? So when we sing that together, you can imagine that you're paddling your very own canoe. Let's learn the song together. So, my paddles keen and bright. Wow. I love how they're talking about this tool, this important tool of the paddle. My paddles keen and bright, flashing with silver. What do you suppose that means? I think the silver is the reflection of the water droplets bouncing off the paddle, maybe reflecting from the sunlight or the moonlight if they're traveling at night. So if you can imagine the paddle flashing with the silver droplets of water. I love that. Splashing into the surface of the water. Follow the wild goose flight. What's a wild goose? I bet you've seen geese around. Well, one type of goose that's very common in the northern part of the area where this song originates, probably closer to Ontario or northern Minnesota, around the Great Lakes, is this bird called a Canada goose. Let's see. I'll show you. Here's a little picture down there. There's a Canada goose. Have you seen one of those before? I have a couple more pictures up here. There's one with its babies on the nest. Yeah, so that's what it's talking about. Follow the wild goose flight. As you can imagine, the geese flying up above, and perhaps the geese are heading south for the winter or something like that. And that would be a great way to tell which direction you're heading if you can follow that V pattern that the geese make as they're flying through the sky. So follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. We're dipping the paddle in the water and swinging it back. Let's do those words together. My paddles keen and bright. Your turn. Good. Flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Very good. And now the second verse starts out the same, actually starts out a little different, but then ends the same. So the second verse we say, dip, dip, and swing and back. Dip, dip, and swing and back. Now your turn. Great. And then we go back. Flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Great. Well, let's sing it together now. Do you want to do the rowing motion together? Okay, let's. So we'll get our paddle. My paddle's keen and bright. Here we go. Let's start paddling first. 1, 2, here we go. My paddles keen and bright, flashing with silver, follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Dip, dip, and swing and back, flashing with silver, follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Let's do it again. My paddles keen and bright, flashing with silver, follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. Dip, dip, and swing and back, flashing with silver, follow the wild goose flight. Dip, dip, and swing. And then you can keep saying dip, dip, and swing for as long as you like. You can repeat any part of the song that helps you really keep that good paddling rhythm. So let's sing dip, dip, and swing a few more times together. Dip, dip, and swing. Dip, dip, and swing. Dip, dip, and swing. Dip, dip, and swing. Great. Thank you for singing that with me. Well, water is so important that we learn about it in a lot of different ways at our Montessori school. We, of course, use water in many different ways in just our daily life, but we also have many different materials that teach us specifically about water. And 2 examples of those are at the elementary level. They have this amazing work called The Work of the River, and it talks about how a river cuts through the land and it moves things with it, right? And they have this wonderful model that they make of the river and show how it shifts things around and how it works. It's very interesting. And then at the primary level, with the younger children, we have the land and water forms. Now, you may have worked with the land and water forms before, or maybe it was many years ago for you, or maybe you just did it a couple months ago at school. So we talked about a lake, right? So this is a picture of what a lake is sort of like, right? It's an area of water. It could be shaped in any way, really, surrounded by land. And then the opposite of that is an island, right? It's an area of land surrounded by water. Isn't that interesting? Yes. So I really love that we have those works that help us specifically think about water and all the many forms it takes. Well, this next song is an old funny favorite, and it has to do with a bay. And a bay is a type of water, an area of water that is typically off of a lake or sometimes off of the ocean. And it's usually shaped kind of like this, if you can imagine a larger body of water. And then the bay is an area that comes off of that. So this song is a song by Raffi, that gentleman who I've talked about many times, that wonderful singer-songwriter. He's from Canada. And this is the song, Down by the Bay. I have this funny book to go along with it. So if you know the song, please sing along with me. Here we go. Down, oops, let me get the reflection. Well, I'll try not to have it do that too much. All right, here we go. Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a goose kissing a moose down by the bay? Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see a whale with a polka dot tail? Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow. Back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see a fly wearing a tie? Down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow. Back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see a bear combing his hair? Down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow. Back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. What's it gonna be? Did you ever see llamas wearing their pajamas? Oh, eating their pajamas. Down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow. Back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Did you ever see an apple wearing a bapple? Did you ever see an orange eating a blouse? Did you ever have a time when you couldn't make a rhyme? Down by the bay, bom, bom. I love that song. Oh, and I love this. On the back page, it has the music. If you've not sung the song before, you can learn it with this sheet music. There it is. Down by the Bay by Raffi. Now, I think it'd be fun because one of the best parts about Down by the Bay is all the fun rhyming we get to do, right? So I thought it'd be fun to sing it a little bit more, and then on the parts where the rhyme comes, I'm going to leave space for you to make some rhymes. So I'm just going to go, and you can just put in your rhyme right there, and then we'll keep going. Okay? We'll do 3 verses with putting your own rhymes in. Okay, here we go. Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Down by the bay, down by the bay, where the watermelons grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say. Down by the bay. All right, that was fun. Okay, well, let's see. Oh, let's do our question of the day. This is a really fun question, I think. I'm curious to learn, what do you like to do with water? There's so many possibilities, right? You could cook with it, or use it as an ingredient for baking. You could water a flower with it. You could dive into it and splash around. Oh, that sounds so nice right now. So what do you like to do with water? That's our question of the day. Well, I have one more song to share, and this song is one that uses a river, an ocean, and water in a fountain too. And it's called Peace Like a River. I love this song, and our wonderful Miss Catherine at our school taught me this song, and I've really enjoyed singing it as I go about my day. It's a really good song to have in your head and in your heart too, I think. So let's do it and learn it together. So it starts out with this idea of peace like a river. It says, I've got peace like a river in my soul. Wow. I love thinking about this idea. We were talking about the work of the river before, right? How a river's job is to start at one point and then move through. It moves in between two areas of land, and it moves through, and it moves sand and rocks and all sorts of things and creatures in its waters. And I like that idea of having peace like a river in our soul. So peace doesn't have to be this quiet, still thing. It can be, but peace also can move through us and move through the world too, right? And make a difference. So I love that idea, and that's how this song starts. So I'm going to sing the whole song for you, and then we'll learn it together. Okay. And this song has motions too, which we'll also learn. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy, joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. And then I like to end the song by singing the peace like a river again. So, let's do it together. We start off with peace like a river. This is the sign for peace. You can do it with me. Like a river moving through. Peace like a river in my soul. And then the second verse says, I've got love. For that we make a heart shape with our fingers. Love like an ocean. Wow. And what does our ocean do? The oceans cover our whole planet like we were showing earlier, right? Oceans cover over. And I feel like this goes so beautifully with the idea of love too, right? Love can cover over many things, right? Love covers all kinds of things. So we have, I've got love like an ocean, covering an ocean in my soul. And then for our third verse, we have, I've got joy like a fountain. Ooh. So for joy, we're doing like this, joy, like a fountain, making our hands go like this, push, like a fountain, like water surging up from a fountain. So I've got joy like a fountain bursting forth in my soul. Great. Well, let's sing it together now. And remember, we're going to sing that last verse, peace like a river, to finish it off. Okay, here we go. So let's first get our peace. 1, 2, 3. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. Well, I hope that as you go on, that you can take that peace like a river with you in your soul. Let's do our goodbye song together now. Sing adieu. Adios. Here we go. Sing adieu. Adios. Now our music ends. Sayonara, guten Tag, mahalo, thank you, friends. Remember, drink lots of water.